Hey everyone, welcome back to Financial Freedom Friday. I'm Maya, and I am so pumped to dive into part 3 of Rich Dad Poor Dad with you today.
And I'm Ryan. Maya, I've been looking forward to this episode all week. We're covering the final lessons from Kiyosaki's masterpiece, and trust me, these concepts are gonna blow your mind.
Absolutely. Today we're talking about working to learn versus working to earn, the power of sales, overcoming fear and greed, and so much more. Ryan, should we jump right into the first big concept?
Let's do it. So here's the thing that really got me. Rich Dad's philosophy of work to learn, don't work for money. Maya, this completely flips traditional career advice on his head.
Oh my gosh, yes! So instead of chasing the biggest paycheck, Kiyosaki says to chase the biggest learning opportunity. He actually tells the story about choosing a lower-paying job that would teach him valuable skills over a higher-paying, dead-end position.
Exactly. And he specifically worked at Xerox, not because he loved selling copy machines, but because he knew he needed to learn sales. He was terrified of rejection in selling, so he deliberately put himself in that uncomfortable position.
Wait, that's so smart, though. He knew sales was his weakness, so he attacked it head-on. And Ryan, this leads us right into why he calls sales the #1 business skill. Tell our listeners about this.
Ooh, this is huge. Kiyosaki says you can be the most brilliant person in the world, but if you can't communicate and sell your ideas, you'll struggle financially. He points out that most people are one skill away from great wealth.
That's such a powerful insight. And it's not just about selling products. It's about selling yourself, your ideas, your vision. Whether you're asking for a raise, pitching a business idea, or networking, you're always selling something.
Absolutely. But Maya, here's where it gets really interesting and kind of deep. Kiyosaki talks about how our emotions, specifically fear and greed, control most people's financial decisions. This part really made me think about my own money habits.
Oh, wow, yes. So he explains that most people work harder when they're afraid. Afraid of not paying bills, afraid of being fired. But then when they get money, greed kicks in, and they just want more stuff instead of investing wisely.
It's like being trapped in this endless cycle. Fear drives you to work for money, then greed makes you spend that money on liabilities instead of assets. And the cycle just repeats forever unless you break free from emotional decision-making.
That's why Rich Dad taught him to think with his head, not his emotions. But Ryan, here's what I love. Kiyosaki doesn't just identify the problem, he gives us the solution. The power of action, or what he calls the do something principle.
Yes, this is so practical. He says most people wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect plan, the perfect moment. But rich people, they start before they feel ready. They take action even when they're scared or uncertain.
And he gives this amazing example about how action creates more opportunities. Like when you start investing in real estate, you suddenly start noticing investment opportunities everywhere. Action opens doors that staying safe never could.
Exactly. But here's another mind-blowing concept: choosing your problems wisely. Maya, this completely changed how I think about challenges in life. Can you break this down for our listeners?
Oh, this is brilliant. So Kiyosaki says everyone has problems. That's just life. But poor people choose different problems than rich people. Poor people's problems are like, I can't afford this, or I don't have enough money. Rich people's problems are like, how do I manage all these investment properties? Or which business opportunities should I choose?
That's such a reframe. Instead of trying to avoid problems, we should be choosing better problems. Would you rather have the problem of not having enough money or the problem of deciding how to invest your surplus? I know which one I'd choose.
Right, and this ties into Rich Dad's ultimate philosophy about wealth and freedom. Ryan, what was the core message that really stuck with you from this entire book?
For me, it was that wealth isn't about having a lot of money, it's about having time freedom. Rich Dad defined wealth as how many days you could survive without working if you stopped working today. That hit me hard, Maya. How many days could I survive on my assets alone?
Oh, wow. That's such a powerful way to measure wealth. And it connects to his bigger point about financial education. He says the lack of money is rarely the real problem. It's the lack of financial education that keeps people trapped in the rat race.
Absolutely. And Maya, I have to ask, after going through this entire book with our listeners, what's one thing you're going to do differently in your own financial life?
Oh, that's such a good question. Honestly, I'm going to focus more on acquiring assets instead of just saving money. I've been playing it too safe, keeping everything in savings accounts. I want to start looking at real estate and maybe some dividend-paying stocks. What about you?
For me, it's the mindset shift from employee to investor. I'm going to start asking, how can I make my money work for me instead of just, how can I work harder for more money? I want to break free from that fear and greed cycle we talked about.
That's awesome, Ryan. And listeners, that's exactly what we want for you too. We want you to think differently about money, work, and wealth. Remember, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep and how hard that money works for you.
So here's our challenge for you this week. Pick one concept from Rich Dad, Poor Dad that resonated with you and take one small action on it. Maybe it's researching your first investment, maybe it's asking for that raise, or maybe it's just changing how you think about your current job.
Yes, and don't forget to share your action with us on social media. Tag us and let us know what step you're taking toward financial freedom. We love hearing your stories and celebrating your wins with you.
Thanks for joining us for our Rich Dad, Poor Dad series, everyone. Remember, financial education is the foundation of wealth, and you've just invested in yourself by listening to this series. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep taking action.
We'll see you next time. Until then, remember, don't work for money. Make money work for you. This is Maya Ryan signing off. Stay wealthy, friends.